Hello, it's me, May McDonough. Welcome to my vlog, The Psychedelic Cherry. We're doing episode 8, a vinyl haul. We're going to talk about music today on vinyl. Episode 8, Psychedelic Cherry, coming to you now. Hey guys, I'm May McDonough. Welcome back to the Psychedelic Cherry, my personal vlog. My brain is a little fried, so forgive me if I seem a little off. I drove to Arizona and back this weekend to visit someone and just tired. I listened to a little too much The OCs, overloaded on a little too much Mark Maron podcasts. I'm now sweating out psychedelia and fuzz and inner rage. It's just oozing out of me right now. So if some of it slips out, forgive me. That's just where I'm at today. That's just no way to live. So I just can't do that anymore. So instead I'm vlogging. I am doing a vinyl haul today, and I think if you're into underground, indie, punk, 60s, psychedelia, 70s, rock, even some more indie folk stuff, you'll like this video hopefully. And if not, expand your mind a little bit. Try new things. Yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the records, right? So, the first record I want to talk about is by a band that is totally underappreciated called White Noise. White Noise was a band in the late 60s. They did things electronically with samples that in the 60s no one else was doing, and I still think they did it better than most bands do it today. So this album is An Electric Storm by White Noise. I think this album cover is just the American release album cover. I think that typically people are more familiar with the black and white album cover that was for European release, I think. But this album is one of the best albums ever made, and it has one of my favorite songs of all time on it, Love Without Sound. And the thing about this band is they used really bizarre samples. Their songs create this really cool cacophony soundscape. But then on top of that, they just have these beautiful psychedelic melodies, a lot of which use more Middle Eastern scales. So they come out very beautiful and haunting and even catchy and poppy a little bit. I just think it's cool that this is what they were doing with electronic music before it went into that dancey, self-referential catchphrase douchiness that it sometimes does today. This is a fucking great album. So my next album that I bought is an album that I have owned once before, but I used to live a more nomadic lifestyle than I do now, and it was stolen from me. I had to get this again though, because this is an album that everyone should have in their record collection. It is T-Rex, An Electric Warrior, and T-Rex was the glam king. And it's so rock and roll, it makes you want to shake your hips and do a dance around the living room, maybe have sex to this music. 'Cause that's what rock and roll should make you want to do most of the time, right? Get it on, bang a gong, get it on. Anyhow, I think everyone should have this album in their record collection. So the third album that I bought recently is one of my very favorite bands of all time. Deeply, deeply attached to this band, and they are the VOCS. This is called Castlemania. It's a great record, and the reason I love this band is because they don't just try to emulate the psychedelic 60s sound. They hint at it, they pay homage to it, they nod ever so slightly at it, but they really take the essence, the spirit of psychedelia and bring it into the modern century. He creates, John Dwyer is the main guy behind the OCs, and he creates these crazy, swirly, wet, lush, wall of soundscapes that are just hallucinatory, you know, they're like tripping. Has killer lyrics, very psychedelic, but very well written. He doesn't lean so heavily on imagery that it breaks, you know. It's definitely a band that you need to listen to a few times before you adjust to their sound, because it is so wet. But once you do adjust, all you want to do is soak in a nice warm bath of the OCs all the time. That's what I want to do. Just float in it, just be consumed by it. John Dwyer also, I think, does all of their album art as well. And they have such a cool visual aesthetic. It's just great artwork. I mean, look at that. And the back is really cool too. More of a collage medium on the back. It's just great. And then when you open it up, you get this big full spread of a child in his crib that is filled to the brim, full of toys. The parents are probably overcompensating for something with this kid. There are just, I mean, too much, I'll say it. This is too much toys, especially for a baby of that size. He doesn't look happy at all. So maybe John Dwyer is trying to say something about materialism. I don't know. Maybe. The kid, though. The kid looks like an unhappy kid. He looks like he's maybe fighting some demons of his own, you know? Maybe that kid just will never be happy. Maybe his parents clearly love him and are trying to show him they love him. Maybe this kid is just doomed to a life of internal trauma and turmoil, tragic introspection, and I don't know. He looks like an introvert, and he looks like maybe he's a baby working through some deep shit, you know? Maybe this is supposed to be John Dwyer. Am I projecting? Probably. I don't know. It's gonna have a rough life, this baby, because it had too many toys. That is the American dream gone awry. That is what I think he's trying to say. Castlemania by the OCs. Just such an amazing band. One of my favorites of all time. Go check it out. Great album. Okay, so the fourth record I bought, I already broke into it a little bit. As you can see, it's a little messy. But this is The Natural Bridge by Silver Jews. Fuck me. Fuck me with this band. This band is depressing. If you are down in the dumps, this is the band for you. Or maybe you're not down in the dumps, but maybe you need to get there. Maybe it's been a while since you went there and you just need to pour yourself some whiskey or some wine and go there. This is the band. I mean, this is like if you took Hank Williams and just, I don't know, sharpened him on a hot blade and then submerged him in putrid, rank, soured barrel of wine. Maybe drown him in it. This is depression in a record, okay? But it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and it's so poignant. Lyrically, their imagery and the sardonic poignancy to what they communicate is just cruel and painful and beautiful. The stars don't shine upon us, we're in the way of their light. Oh, Pet Politics. Pet Politics is fucking great. They have this song called Black and Brown Blues, and it's basically saying that this man has taken all of the weight, all of the burdens that we are all buckling beneath, all of the decisions that we experience in the world, all of the pain, all of the uncertainty, everything that crushes our spirit and just really breaks us, can be boiled down to the simple moment every morning where this guy gets up and he just cannot decide whether he needs to wear a pair of black shoes or a pair of brown shoes today. And it's just, the song is just crippling. It's so good. Fuck me, the Silver Jews. Fuck you. Fuck you, Silver Jews. That's what this album just says, fuck you. So my last, fifth record is, again, one of my very favorite bands. I listen to them constantly. Underneath the Rainbow, it's down here, by BLACKLIPS. The BLACKLIPS? No, BLACKLIPS. BLACKLIPS, with no the, is one of my favorite bands. I love them. They use a lot of really cool, psychedelic guitar riffs, have kind of a spy vibe to some of them. There are 3 songwriters in this band, and I'm never quite sure who wrote what, but at least one of the writers, if not singers, if not all of them, have this really interesting and I'd say intellectual style of writing, which is that over these really cool punk psychedelic guitar riffs, a lot of my favorite songs have really poetic lyrics, like using a lot of poetic devices. So one verse will be about loving a dog and not wanting it to die, and the next will be about loving a girl and not wanting her to die, and the next will be about loving himself and trying not to die. A lot of really poetic lyrics with common threads going through them. The more interesting thing about this band's lyrical and melodic voicings, right, is that at least one of the singers will sing certain words to sound like other words. I think he does this deliberately, and the word that is written in the lyrics gives the line one connotation, whereas the word that it sounds like he's saying gives the line a totally or sometimes slightly different meaning. I like to think he's playing with us in that way, and I think it's a really cool way to have double entendre in your lyrics. So even though it's not necessarily a band known for their lyricism, I actually really like their lyricism, as well as, of course, their fucking great music, which always comes first in my mind. Yeah, just great band, really cool vibe, fun to sing along to, definitely one of those bands, fun to dance to, and this album is definitely one of their best, if not their best, in my opinion. I'd say the best song on this album, I'm gonna go with, there's a lot, but I'm gonna go with a song called Do the Vibrate, and that is because not only does it have that kind of spy, almost Dick Dale surf vibe to it, but it also has that kind of 60s, it kind of sounds like one of those dark, dingy 60s songs that were about doing a dance, like Do the Vibrate. But I think the song is actually about using your phone on vibrate to pleasure yourself. I'm I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. So that's cool, you know? That's it, BLACKLIPS. That was my 5th album. I love it. Go check out BLACKLIPS if you haven't already. That's it. That is my vinyl haul. My first vinyl haul. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're new, know that this is not the only thing I do. I don't just talk about music. I talk about everything and anything. So please check out the rest of my channel and be sure to subscribe. Please go check out my band, The May Company. Yeah, that's at wearethemaycompany.com. And please subscribe. Go check out my other videos. I live to please. So if you have any requests or want to know anything about me, please say so in the comments below. That's it. This has been the Psychedelic Cherry, episode 8. Thanks. Bye.